Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hi, guys. So good to see
Good
you
evening,
all.
everybody.
We are dialing in from, geez, I keep forgetting which town or province or city we're in. We're dialing in tonight from Belito in KwaZulu-Natal.
Correct.
And yeah, we've come to the end of our trip that we started 8 weeks ago. We started our trip 8 weeks ago, and we've been doing, I think we've done about sure 60 plus presentations in like basically 16 days.
Yes. How many Ks did you say?
Kilometers. We've done about 10,000
Yeah.
kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been doing a lot of driving, a lot of driving, and we've been living out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, we feel like rock stars. It's so awesome to see all you guys, Charles, Annie, Ashley, the pictures we can see, Brigitte, Evelyn, Sandy, Debbie, Susanna,
Evening,
who else is
everybody.
on? So good to see you guys. And a lot of people that are on the call this evening are people we met in person for the very first time over the last 2 months. And we've had a lot of fun. We've met the most amazing, beautiful, beautiful human beings on this trip. Um, like-minded, like-hearted people that are just on the same page, that just get it, that connect into the frequency of what we're achieving and making a difference in this world. And that's what it's all about. One person and one patch at a time. So our journey started basically 2 months ago to the day. Started off in an area called Nelspruit, which is up north. And then we came home for 2 days, and then we got in the car and we drove down to Bloemfontein. And then from there, we went down to Cape Town. We came back home. We were home for 3 days, and then we came straight down to KwaZulu-Natal. So this afternoon, I put a couple of pictures together. A lot of people followed us on Facebook, and people have been saying, "Chris, why don't you share more photos?" I'm like, I don't want to clog the group. The group is already quite busy as it is, and I don't want to go and put like a million photos on. So I spent some time putting a few photos together, and there's a lot of people that are on the call tonight that you can see some of your pictures, and let me just open this up. So, as I say, this is where it all started. It started on
Wow.
our very, yeah, feels like forever ago, hey?
Mm.
And this is where it started in Nelspruit when it
Memory
was
lane.
myself and Lucinda and Bridget and Sandy. Off we went. We decided let's go and hit Nelspruit.
Yes.
That night already, we had our first meeting and dinner together.
Yeah.
And already the next day, already Sandy was there up on stage, uh, me presenting, and we were presenting two, sometimes three times a day to various groups of people, bigger groups, smaller groups. Sometimes I find it nice and cozy when we're presenting in front of, two, three people and can really give that personalized attention. But personally, I love it when a room is full. There you can see we had a nice big screen there, got the banners up. That was us after. And there's a Penny on the
Penny.
right-hand side. And let me tell you something. I'm still waiting for Penny to send me her testimony on
Wow. Yeah.
what this product's done for in Penny's life. She's a pro golfer, and she's making everybody look for parking. Just amazing. And then we went. Yeah, we were still in Nelspruit, and we met Colleen, and he's got a channel called Skid Marks. What an amazing guy!
So interesting, hey?
Very interesting guy to chat to. We spent 3 hours with him, and his side effect of being on the patches was he said that his hair was completely going grey, and now the black hair is coming back, and on his sideburns. Then we came back to Joburg, and then we had Paige presenting in Bedford View, knocking it out the ballpark. That was our second meeting, I think it was, in Bedford View.
Very successful
There we
meeting
go.
and growing every day. Mm.
And then we're home 2 days, and then we went to
Yeah.
Bloemfontein. Here was our very first meeting at Bloem. And then we spent some time with
Jessie.
Jesse, and Louis and Renata came
Yes.
driving up. We met Charlotte from Kimberley.
Hmm?
And then there was Louis presenting in Bloem.
An Afrikaans presentation, right?
The very first Afrikaans
Yeah.
presentation ever was done. So that was awesome.
Wonderful.
And then we all met afterwards for
Yes.
lunch. And guys, we were doing 3 presentations a day,
Yes.
10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then we got
There
to
we
Cape Town.
go.
Look at this beautiful view. This is from Bloemberg Strand. Beautiful Cape Town. Look at that beautiful view. And then the first meeting we had was in Milnerton Library. Met a whole lot of people there.
Such a warm welcome and reception, and everybody was just like ready to hear the message, right?
Completely.
Some brand partners there.
Then we were in Plattekloof.
Yes.
Yes, Plattekloof. We met a whole lot of people there. Then we went to Pinelands. That was at the end of the library.
Yeah.
Had a bit more of a cozy meeting here that morning. Then again that morning. And then we were back in Milnerton the next day, meeting more people, presenting there. Right, now I see the guy over here. I can't see it with the little mouse. This guy that's got his hands going up like that.
Yes, like
his name is Barry. Yeah, Barry came first time he ever came to a meeting, and he walked into the meeting where he's got arthritis on his toes, and he came limping into the meeting. And what we did was, as you know, we patch everybody at the beginning of a presentation, put the patch normal place, X39. And about half an hour into the meeting, it was the weirdest thing. He said, "Stop the meeting. I must talk." And I'm like, no, please be quiet. Questions at the end. What do you want to say? He goes, "I need to talk." So I'm going, oh man, what is this guy going to say? And he took his shoes off and he took his socks off in front of everybody. He said, "Guys, I walked into this meeting with pain in my toes. I couldn't walk. I'm pain-free.
Yeah.
My pain has disappeared on my toes." And he was walking around the room with his shoes off. And that was just such a beautiful thing to see. And that's why his hands are just up like that. And yeah, he's just sharing this with absolutely everybody in Cape Town. Right, there's Ilse Dynamite. Let me tell you, Ilse's putting Cape Town in the map. And then
the rest of the team.
There's Esme and Charles and Lorraine. Lorraine presented as well. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful, amazing human beings.
And then Lorraine is going to be on Zoom shortly. Thank you, Lorraine.
Yes, Lorraine will be presenting on Zoom. And then Selena.
Selena.
Let me tell you, Selena is 87. 87 years old. And she was walking up and down the stairs, and she had 2 to 3 guests.
Yes,
every single presentation.
She was at all the Milnerton, all the Pinelands meetings, probably like 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah.
Every day, and she would bring her people with.
Absolutely beautiful, beautiful lady. There we go. There's more people in Pinelands, and there we go in the blue shoot. There's Barry. He came back and brought people with.
There we go. And Lisa and all the others, yeah.
Then we were back in Plattekloof, met more peeps there.
Thank you, Rob.
Right, then we had a meeting at the Sophie Temple, which was a little bit different. We didn't really have anywhere that we could present, but we made a plan. We found a little whiteboard and we put the projector on, and bam, we presented on the little screen over there. There was everybody. And let me tell you something. It's shaped like a little dome, okay? And what happens is when you at different areas,
especially here where the back seats were, there where the cooler rack is on the floor, that area, remember?
You could be standing there and standing by the whiteboard, and you could be whispering. And because of the way the sound moves, because of the angles, it's like you're hearing the person talking in your head and they're whispering the craziest thing. So what happened is, I'm going to say it, yes. Though a whole lot of ladies on the right-hand side, right? This was just before we started the presentation. I was busy setting everything up, right? And they were talking quite gently, and I was on the other side. And when they were whispering, I could hear every word they were saying. And they were saying, "Oh my goodness, I don't know why we even came here. What a waste of our bloody time. And look at this young idiot. What's he going to come and talk about?" Da, 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 da. And I thought, yeah, my goodness gracious. And I thought, I haven't even started yet. And I just kept quiet and I looked at them, I stared at them, and then they went quiet. And they're like, what? And then the one lady said, the other lady, and they looked at me and said, can you hear what we're saying? I said, I can hear every word you said. Okay. Everybody kept quiet from there. But it's amazing what people have got certain ideas in their head about what we have to share. But then after watching a full physical presentation, it's amazing how that shift completely happened. And it came afterwards and apologized and said they had no idea about what they were coming to talk about. It got their sort of interest, but they're so glad they came. So it's just interesting how that shifts once a person knows what it is we're talking about. There's a saying by Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my favorite authors in the whole world. And he said the highest form of ignorance is rejecting something that you know nothing about. So that's why it's so interesting when people make comments, but they don't know what it's all about and how that all shifts afterwards. Right, then we're back in Islands, Selena bringing more people. There we go, and there's Lorraine presenting. Go. Right, then we just met and had coffee afterwards with the Cape Town leaders.
Cape Town.
Okay, this is interesting. Then we went up to Robertson. All right, guys. So when we talk about having to find a venue or setting up a meeting, right? You can have a successful meeting in a garage. Guys, this was a meeting in a garage. Here we go, have a look. There we go. We sort of ran out of space. So there you can see there's the garage door. And
it was hot that day.
Hot.
And at some point we had to actually close the door because people couldn't see part of the presentation, right? So
it was so hot.
Challenging.
It was 39 degrees in the garage. And I could feel the sweat coming down my ears.
The neighbors were bringing the chairs with us, remember? It was really hot. Sweat was dripping off.
But guess what? Everybody absolutely loved it. Everybody stayed, drank lots of water. There you go. It's a few photos afterwards. Renee and Darlene. There we go. That's the picture on the outside. In the garage. All right. And then here we were in Hermanus.
Yes.
Beautiful meeting in Hermanus. There you go. That's where we met Corin.
Yeah.
And
Rachel.
And Rachel. There we go.
There we go.
There's some pictures of us afterwards. And then we went to Claremont.
Yes.
And this is
Anna
Marie, who is
Pierretta's mom. And I just want to stop here for a minute. Anna Marie has been doing presentations every single Saturday, probably for the last 9 months, in a small little town called Claremont. Sometimes she has nobody arriving, and sometimes she has quite a few people, but she keeps going and she keeps at it, and she is just persistent and consistent with what she does. And we just had to go to her and give her a little something from our heart and give her some encouragement. And she was just over the moon for us to share some time with her. And it was really, when we made the schedule, I said, Anna Marie has to get a visit from us and a big hug. So well done, Anna Marie. Thank you.
Right, then we drove for 3 hours, guys, to go and present for an hour and a half, have coffee, and we drove 3 hours on a Sunday back. There we go. But there was a commitment that stood out for you. I'd like you to say.
So if you look at the screen here, the couple on is it the left side for everybody?
Left side,
yeah. So in the red striped shirt and the lady with the black shirt next to him, that is Jonathan and Marcella, and they are in Plettenberg Bay. So if anybody knows the distance between the places or look on a South African map, it's a 3.5-hour drive from Plettenberg Bay to Stilbaai, where we had the event. And for us, where we were in Hermanus, was a 3-hour drive. This couple came driving for 3.5 hours, and they brought some people with, like half the audience was there, right? Yeah. Just to come and listen to a presentation Plus, you'll see they have their notebooks open. From the minute Chris started talking and we did the presentation, they were taking notes down. I have never seen anybody be so attentive and observing and taking everything in. And it was just mind-blowing that these people drove on a Sunday for 3.5 hours to come and meet us, to hear a presentation and then drive back. And if that is not commitment, so guys, Martella and Jonathan, I've said this to you before as well, amazing. Kudos, hats off. This is a couple that's going to take this far. They're going to start with presentations probably by the end of April in Plet. And that is just beautiful to see. So, yeah.
Wait, let me go back again quickly. It's quite interesting. We tried to cover as many towns and cities that we could, and we tried to group it. And sometimes we had meetings that were probably about 20 minutes from the other town, and people didn't come to the meeting because they said it wasn't right there and they weren't willing to drive 20 minutes. And I just thought we drove for about 16 hours, 1,600 kilometers down from Johannesburg down to Cape Town. And people were saying they didn't want to drive 20 minutes. So where is your commitment level, and how badly do you want to do this? So we try our best to get everywhere, and like I said, we met a lot of people.
And then just on that note as well, it wasn't perfect circumstances. Also, when we created or looked for venues, even though we wanted to go specific towns and maybe major cities, we couldn't always find a conducive venue. So that was part of the way that the schedule was put together. So we also just worked with what we've got. And that was also something that I just wanted to bring across. So it's not always perfect, but we make it happen.
Then we're going back to the Strand. Had a beautiful meeting here in the Strand, and we met Chris and Charles there. And then from the Strand, we went to Longabon.
Yes.
Okay, guys, let me tell you, I only heard about the area called Longabon. And Carlo and Tim warned me and said, be careful. This place is like paradise. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we've been around. We look quite nice. Well, we got there. Another world. Absolute another world. What a beautiful place. So there you can see we met Carlo and Tim and Trish. And
hopefully soon there'll be lunch parties there happening, ongoing. Beautiful.
That was Saturday morning, beautiful group of people. And then we met Annie. Yes. Annie's on the call tonight. I saw Annie was on.
Annie.
And what Annie's testimonies, absolutely mind-blowing.
We need those testimonies, Annie.
But let me tell you guys about a thing called broken record, broken telephone. Have you guys ever heard of broken telephone? Now, Sandy, I heard bits and pieces about Annie's testimony, and this is what I heard. Okay, all right. So, and I told Annie. Okay, we had quite a laugh about this. So, Annie was talking about her partner that had a lot of pain, and what I heard was that he was shot with a bow and arrow that went right through his body, and Annie wanted to dance with him and lifted him up, and there was basic liquid going all over on her arms, and she was so happy to see this. And I thought, and this is in between a broken telephone, and I sort of left it, and I thought, we're going to meet Annie. And I thought, Annie, my partner was shot with a bow and arrow, and you wanted to dance with him. How could you do that? That is like quite insensitive. This is what's going on in my head, right? So I got Annie to talk about her testimony in front of everybody. And my goodness, did I feel quite embarrassed. Her partner had pain, and it felt as if an arrow had gone through him, as if she put the patches on. And half an hour later, he was able to stand up and they were able to dance. And Annie was holding her partner, and she had tears coming out of her eyes. And that's what was going onto her arm and onto the shirt. So, you can hear things differently. So that's what we call broken telephones. So I'm so glad that Annie cleared that up and wasn't being insensitive, making her partner dance with a bow and arrow through him, as what I thought what had happened. So Annie will get that recorded soon. Can't wait. Beautiful, powerful testimony. And Annie's got about what, over 20 testimonies
Yeah,
she's telling
so
us.
many.
So many testimonies. Right, then that was still in Langebaan. There's Annie on the left-hand side there. Right, and that's myself, Tim and Carlo in Langebaan. Then we went back to Bloemfontein, and there was Jessie. Jessie, we called Duracell Jessie. Oh my goodness gracious. Energy levels like you have never ever seen. And that was a small home meeting that we had in Bloem. And then we got in the car, and then then we went home, and then we were there 3 days, and we went down to Howick. Had an amazing presentation. We had over 60 people in this presentation. And these amazing people that we met in Howick. Right. Let me go through the back. I just want, there we go. Right. So what we did was when we were in Howick, I did something different. We had 60 people in the presentation, and halfway I stopped and I asked the audience, I said, I'm doing something very different today. I want to ask who's got pain, but when I talk about pain, pain, no pain is zero, and we all heard 10 is like excruciating pain. Has anybody in the audience got level 7, maybe level 8 pain? Please put your hand up. 8 people put their hand up, and I was like, oh, my hat. So everybody came walking to the front, and we had a full sleeve of Ice Wave, and we decided we're going to start patching everybody. So we're asking, where's your pain? I walked in, I can't move my neck, patched the back of the neck. Next person came up, oh, I can't move my shoulder, patched the shoulder. Next person came walking, sciatica. Next person, knee pain. Next person, foot pain. And we were just patching everybody like little Dalmatians everywhere. And just before ending the presentation, I said, everybody that patched, please can you stand up and please give us some of your feedback. The lady stood up and she went like this. She said, I wasn't able to move my neck when I walked into this presentation. The other person was walking and said, I was limping into this presentation. I can walk. The other person said, my shoulder pain, it's not completely gone, but I can feel the pain disappearing. This is what was happening. And the testimonies that we saw on the trip are absolutely mind blowing. So we're going to try and get a lot more of these testimonies on videos. There we go. Okay, and then here is Debbie. We met Debbie Lott, which is just so amazing. We've known each other for a while now. Debbie joined Lifeway Family, I think it was about February, March last year. And, you know, I want to tell everybody a very quick story about Debbie, which is very, very powerful. We were talking about it. Now, you guys know my journey of how I became part of LifeWave, and that was, George saw me on a Zoom call and told me I didn't look very healthy, sent me information on the patches. I got patched. My life changed in 5 days. I patched my mom. My mom's life changed in 3.5 weeks. And it was about February last year, I put a post on Facebook, and Debbie sent me a message and said, Chris, I've just read the story about your mom with the pain that she had, and please send me more information on X39. I sent information to Debbie, and she said she'd like to try the X39. So I asked her, I said, what is the reason? What are you wanting to use the X39 for? So Debbie said, I've had lower back pain for nearly 10 years. I'm taking anti-inflammatories, injections, and nothing seems to be working. I'd like to try the patches. So I said to Debbie, I've got with me, and what I can do is I will send the product down to you. So Debbie put the money into my bank account. I went to Postnet and I dropped the patches off. 2, 3 days later, Debbie's patches arrived. So I said to her, what she must do is put the X39 on her lower back. So that's what Debbie did. She put the X39 on lower back, and then water. She put it on her lower back. And then 3 weeks later, Debbie sent me a message And she said, Chris, my pain is 70% gone. I'd like to order another sleeve of X39. So she said, how quickly can you get it to me? I said, well, I'm going to have to order it. It's going to take 3 to 5 working days, and then I'll get it to PostNet. And she said, can't you get it to me faster? I said, well, I'll tell you what I can do. Let me send you my referral link, and you can register and you can get the product at wholesale price. It'll get delivered directly to you. Debbie said to me, yeah, but I don't do the networky thing. I'll never forget, Debbie called it networky. So I said, Debbie, you don't have to do the networky thing. I'm just giving you my link so that you can get wholesale price. And she said, I'm not sharing this with anybody. I said, Debbie, you don't have to. Okay, all good. Every month, Debbie was purchasing X39, X39, X39. And it was about 4 months in. Debbie sent me a message and said, Chris, where do I find my referral link? Phoned Debbie up and I said, Debbie, why do you want your referral link? She said, I've got somebody that wants to sign up. I said to her, but I thought you don't do the networky thing. She said, I normally don't, but this is different. And that's what's so beautiful about LifeWave. We've all heard the saying, the proof is in the pudding. At LifeWave, we say, the proof is in the patch. The proof is in the patch. And Debbie's got an amazing team going now. And that's how this beautiful company grows organically because of what this product is doing for other people. Mm. Now, if you think about it, somebody walked up to Debbie and said, my goodness, you're walking properly. Debbie didn't say, I'm not sharing this with you. This is my secret. We don't do that. Us as human beings, we share automatically with people. So I just wanted to share that story with everybody. So after that, we went to go see Belinda down in the South Coast in Ramsgate. There we go. Had a beautiful, cozy meeting. Now, what happened here is we had the meeting, and the meeting finished. We started it at 2 o'clock. We finished the presentation at 3 o'clock, and a lady came walking in at 3:10 and said, oh my goodness, sorry, we're late. I started chatting to this lady, and she's does all different types of alternative healing, and loved the concept, and said she's so sorry she's late. Please, can we go through a little bit of info? I said, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a one-on-one personal private presentation on the big wall. Would you like me to do that? She was like, if you don't mind. I did another presentation straight afterwards for an hour. And yeah, Elizabeth signed up last week.
Yeah.
So,
and also, once again, Melinda in Ramsgate have been doing her patch parties every Saturday afternoon for also almost as long as we've been doing it, right? Since she's been down there, it's probably touching on a year. And once again, sometimes she has a full house and other times just one or two. And what we also have said all along with this trip, it's not about the quantity of people, it's about the quality. Having those 3-4 like-minded individuals that come through and is ready to hear the message. So well done to you, Belinda, as well. It was lovely just being in your home and seeing how you do things on that very big screen. Can you remember? It was massive.
I'm glad you actually touched on that because you can have a meeting where you got 3 people. And that's where we started. We started our very first presentation at Sandy's house just on a year ago with 3 people. And this is what we've turned it into, having events where we've got 60, 70 people. But, you think we've only got one person. That one person can completely change, not hundreds, but thousands of people's life. Yeah. And that's the beauty about the industry that we're in, because it just goes far and wide. All right, there we go. That was a few more photos of Belinda's house. Then we got to Kingsborough. Kingsborough, we did a presentation on a blue wall. Then we went to Kingsborough and we were looking for the white wall, and we couldn't find a white wall to present on. And Zaf and Rose thought we were just having like a general coffee meeting. And I said, no, this is not a coffee meeting. We actually have people that are coming to watch a live presentation. And my eyeballs just went this big. I thought, oh my hat, what are we going to do? So what I did was we all sat at the table, and I stood at the end of the table, and I did a 45-minute presentation out of my head. And it was from the first slide. I went through all the slides in in my head because I've done it so many
You've done it
times.
so many times.
And Zach came to me afterwards and said, Zach, do you have a photographic memory? And I said to him, why? He said, you covered every single slide in the right sequence and you covered everything in each slide verbatim. So, it's all about repetition. And, it's like it's anything that we do in life when you're learning something new. I'm actually touch on that towards the end. And I'm going to talk about the 4 stages. At the end of this, when I finish the pictures, I'm going to go through the 4 stages of learning anything new in life. And then we met Graham signing up, the most amazing people. And then we met Francois. Oh, passion, like also Duracell battery, hey?
Yeah. So excited about Life Wave.
That was in what area was that again? Like Townish,
yeah.
up there somewhere.
Lost track now.
Yep. And then we got down to La Lucia. And then we had an absolute amazing presentation there. That guy on the back left-hand side, that is Jay, very good friend of mine I've known for many years. And Jay, after the presentation, he said, oh my goodness gracious, I had an idea of what this was all about, but after the presentation, you've got my attention. I really, really like what I see. Jay signed up, he's become a brand partner, and we were with him yesterday and his kids having dinner. Just absolutely amazing. There we go.
Sure, I'm very busy in the background there and must be important stuff for me to not even look up for the camera.
There we go. And there's Ilsa. There we go. That was Jay, after Jay signed up. And then we were in Belito, our very first meeting in Belito. Had nice
Belito Library.
Belito Library. There we go. It's Belito Library. And then that's when we met Bev. And I think Bev's on the call tonight.
Hi,
Bev. It was so awesome meeting you. Thank you for opening up your beautiful home to everybody. We just had such a beautiful meeting. That was the day before yesterday.
Yeah. And once again, small group, intimate, but everybody is on the same wavelength there.
Oh, completely. There we go. So that was a couple of pictures of our trip, which was absolutely just amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm going to ask a handful of people to talk. I haven't planned this. I'm going to ask them if they would like to, and just talk about what they experienced when we came down and met with them. So I can see Charles there. I can see Annie. I might pick on Annie. You can see Annie, she's going to duck under the table. Yeah, there we go. Annie ducked under the table. And there we go, Graham. I can see Sandy nodding her head. And there's Debbie smiling. There we go. Debbie also hiding back.
Don't put them on the spot.
I won't put them on the spot. Okay. And then, so what I'm going to do is I need to share something quite interesting with you guys. I think all of you guys that know me, what you see is what you get. And I just speak from the heart. I've got my heart on my sleeve, and I keep everything as real as possible. And I like to share real stuff with everybody, because people can tend to sort of put you on a bit of a pedestal and say, yeah, that's easy for you. That's easy for you to say. You've been doing this for X amount of time, and you don't get any rejection, and everybody's nice to you, and everybody you talk to says yes, and everybody joins. And I've had people say that to me, and they kind of go, yeah, but Chris, you don't get the rejection and that type of stuff. And I thought, that's very interesting that people have got that perception. It's just that what I do is I talk to enough people where when I get like a rejection, I've like learned in my life that I do not take rejection personally, and I see rejection differently. As you've heard us say this many times, no means not right now. That's all it means. And I've experienced this in my 16-month journey where I find a lot of people that I spoke to, let's call it a year ago, are now starting to engage, and people are starting to join now. But the thing is, you talk about green and red tomatoes. All we're doing is sorting tomatoes. And if the tomato is green, I'm not going to go and pick that tomato and destroy it. You leave that tomato, it's still got a little bit more growing to do. And I just want to deal with red tomatoes, people that are ripe and ready. So so what happened is I had guys, and this is a record. I had an 11-minute meeting.
Yep.
An 11-minute meeting. Right. So now you're probably thinking, okay, where's Chris going with this? This was the shortest meeting I've had in my entire life. I had an 11-minute meeting. So let me tell you what happened. So I messaged a friend of mine. It's a mutual friend of Carlo, and I messaged him 2 days ago, and I said, "Listen, I'm here in KZN. Now, I met this individual. I won't mention any names. I met him about 5 years ago. We were down here in KZN. We were working on a different project, and we went out for dinner the one evening. And this is where I sat opposite this gentleman. And this is 5 years ago when I connected with this man on such a beautiful level. He was with Amway about 30 years ago, and he built one of the biggest teams in this country. And he was like, if you want to call it a network marketing legend, like a guru. He met all the founders and that type of stuff. And just listening to this man had such a wealth of knowledge and experience. And I thought, my goodness, this is just amazing to meet a person like this. And then we lost contact, and we probably spoke once every 2 years, and hadn't spoken to him in about probably 3 years. So I sent a message and said, "Oh, Chris, it's so nice to hear from you. How you doing?" I said, "I'm in KZN." I said, "Listen, I'd love to meet you for a cup of coffee. How does your week look?" So I said, "I can meet you the day after tomorrow. Let's meet at 11 o'clock." He said, "Right, I'm leaving out of town. We can meet for an hour. Is that okay with you?" I said, "Perfect, 100%. So listen to this, guys. Listen to this. I drive for an hour to get there. We sit down, we have coffee. So we're chatting 5 minutes about old times and the previous project we're working on. And so 5 minutes in, he said to me, "So, Chris, what have you been up to?" I had the patch on my arm. I said, "Here we go, stem cell reactivation patches." So I said to him, he said to me, "Wow, that sounds interesting. What is it?" Now, guys, listen to this. He's asking me, what is it I'm doing? So all I'm doing is answering what he's questioning, right? And I said to him, "This is the company, it's been around for 20 years, it's quite new in South Africa," and told me a little bit about the science. And he says, how does distribution get done? I said, "Through this beautiful industry that you know so much about, network marketing." And he looks at me and he goes, "You trying to recruit me?" I said, "No, no, no. I'm just meeting you for a cup of coffee." And I said to you, "Mo, what's up to you? I'd like to bounce one or two ideas on you. And I want to ask you something because of your experience and your knowledge." Okay. And I knew already that he'd been out of the industry for 10 years. He's busy with property and all that type of stuff. And I just wanted to ask him a few questions. And he started shouting and flicking and swearing at me like you have no idea. "Who do you think you are? You've just insulted me. That's not what you want to do. You just want to sign me up and you think that I'm going to bring thousands of people and make you millions." I said, "No, that's not why I'm sitting here. You're the seventh person that's tried to sign me up to do something. I am totally not interested." Yes, and he banged his hands on the table and he said, "This meeting is effing over." He gets up and he storms away. That was my 11-minute meeting. So do I get rejection? Hell yeah. But you know what I did? I just get smiling. I had a smile on my face. I thought, my goodness, that's issues that he obviously had, issues that he hasn't dealt with. So what happened was he was going to pay for the bill, and I could see him going to talk over there, and I picked up the bill and the money, and I just waved at him with a 100 Rand note, and I said, "Bye." And he said to me, "Don't ever phone me again." I said, "Okay, fine, not a problem at all." So I just wanted to share that because that's what happened 2 days ago. So the last 48 hours in my life has been really interesting. So yeah, some people are going to say completely no, because at the end of the day, guys, this is about frequency. This is about making a difference in people's lives, and it's not for everybody. and we need to understand that. And we've been connecting with such beautiful people that connect with what we're doing. And a lot of people we met, they said, when we got the information on LifeWave, we didn't hesitate. We just got it.
Yeah.
It just made sense. So, yeah, so that's quite interesting. And then I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday. Guys, make sure you're sitting down. I want to make, no, I've got to share it. I've got to share it with everybody. I have to share it.
Yeah, this is another tough one.
Right. So, what I'm going to tell you now, guys, make sure you're sitting because this is going to knock you off your chairs. That's all I can tell you. All right. So, we all know about Molina. Molina is the lady who had 21 operations on her knees. I've known Molina for about 4 years, and she's got no cartilage in her knees. She's had bone on bone for many, many years. She had 21 operations. She had polio when she was a child. And you guys know I went to go see Molina in March, April last year. And we went to go see Molina, myself and Lucinda, and Molina could not walk. She was basically walking like on a walker. She had so much pain in her knees. Long story short, we patched Molina's knees like a Dalmatian. 5 days later, Molina was pain-free. And we went to go see Molina, and she's been in the business since April last year.
Yeah.
And today she's still pain-free, and she's sharing LifeWave with everybody. That guy, Colleen in Nelspruit, is somebody that Molina signed up, got an amazing business going. And Molina's just got so much passion and gratitude for what LifeWave has done for her. And, you know, Molina got her other leg going. And what's so beautiful is what this industry can do. You know, we're talking about helping people on every level, as you know, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially, right? And, you know, Molina is in the mid 70s and she gets a SASSA grant, like 2,000 Rand a month. And Molina's been battling for many years. And she just was consistent, and she was consistent and consistent. And Molina's life suddenly just changed. And Molina suddenly earned some really decent income through LifeWave. And guys, when we're talking about money and your relationship with money, where people say money's not important to me, money is evil. No, it's not. Money's not evil. The love of money is evil. When we're talking about money, money is energy. Money needs to flow because everything is frequency and energy. So it's all about you cannot give when your cup is half full, when it's half empty, whichever way you look at it. When your cup starts overflowing, you can then start to help other people. And this is Marlena. Even when she was battling, all she wanted to do was help people, but financially she couldn't. Now that she's earning some really good money, you know what Molina is doing. And I know a lot of people in this beautiful community are doing the same thing. They take X percentage of what they're earning, and it's called paying it forward. And that's for helping um, less privileged people, people that just cannot afford either maybe the patches initially, cannot afford to join the business. But with myself, I mean, I will give a person a fish. I'll give you a fish today. I'll give you a fish tomorrow. But on Saturday, I'm going to give you a fishing rod and I'm going to teach you to fish for the rest of your life. And that's what's so beautiful about this business, that we can help people to become self-sustainable. So going back to the story, Marlena gives people patches to help them. And a lot of these people get onto the patches and then she sponsors some people into the business and she's helping them on their journey, which is the most beautiful, beautiful thing I've ever seen. So what happened is Molina is on a WhatsApp group and completely nothing to do with our group. And it's like a community group. And a lady posted on the group about a month and a half ago. She got sciatica issues and it's gone right down to her feet. She's had 13 operations, 13 guys, 13 unsuccessful operations. And the doctors want to start doing amputations by her feet, starting at her toes. Now, you guys know we've seen so many testimonies where people were just about to go for amputations, and they got onto LifeWave just in time. People have patched, and 3-4 weeks later, they go back to the doctors and they don't have to go for an amputation anymore. That's what this product is doing for people. We've seen it. We've got all the testimonies. So Molina shared this testimony with this lady and said to her, you might not have to go for the operation to get your toes cut off. So you know what Molina did? Molina sent her 2 sleeves of X39 and 2 sleeves of Aeon out of her own pocket. She put it in the post. Guys, in South African terms, that's 6,500, 7,000 Rand. This is part of paying it forward. Molina posted this to this lady free of charge from her heart. She doesn't know her from a bar of soap, and said, I'm gifting this to you to help you to save your feet and your toes. And guess what? This lady lives just up the road from where we are right now in Belito. The stock arrived 3 weeks ago. Molina sent her a message last week, Thursday, and said, Chris and Lucinda are just down the road. They're going to be presenting. I'd love you to go to watch them to present. And by the way, how are the patches going? She said, I haven't used them. So Molina said, why not? Because you've got to go for your operation soon, don't you? She said, yes, 9th of April, which is around the corner. It's within a week and a half. She said she's not going to use the patches. So Molina said, why not? No, the surgeon said she mustn't use any of the patches. She mustn't do anything. And I thought, my goodness gracious, wow. So she said she's not interested in the patches. She doesn't even want them. So I said to Molina, give me this woman's phone number. I'll rather go and collect the patches, and would rather give these to somebody else that deserves the patches. I went yesterday morning. Now, guys, listen to this. I got quite emotional yesterday. I had to go fetch the patches at 10 o'clock yesterday morning. I got a message from this lady at 10:15, and she said, Chris, I can only meet you at the gate at 10 past. I'm battling to walk, cannot walk. My car is broken and I'm walking to the gate. I can only get there 10 past. I said, not a problem. I'll meet you at 10 past. I met her at the gate. I said, my goodness, you look like you're in pain. She said, I'm in excruciating pain. She had the patches in her hand. I said, why don't we try and put these patches onto you? I believe you haven't used them for 3 weeks. No, the surgeon said I mustn't. I said, what I've got in my hand right now, I believe Molina sent you stories of people in a similar situation to you, and it's completely turned their life around. I had them in my hand. She gave them to me. I said, Molina's giving you 6,500 Rand worth of stock for free. Why don't we try and patch you? Because guess what? Potentially, you might not have to go for the operation. I said, what operation are you going for on the 9th of April? She said, I'm going to get my toes cut off. I said to her, wow. I said, don't you want to give this a try? She said, no, I'm happy to have my toes cut off. You know, I was speechless. I was speechless. I said to her, I've got something in my hands that can help you, and you may not go and have your toes. She said, the surgeon said I must get my toes cut off, and I'm happy to go get my toes cut off. So, guys, I had a shift yesterday. I was actually speechless. I actually did not know what to say. I actually could not believe what I was saying, and it just made me think to myself that there are people out there that don't want to be healed. They are they don't want to be healed, and we need to actually come to terms with that.
And just be aware.
And I know what LifeWave has done for people on our journey over the last 16 months. It's touched people's lives, it's touched people's hearts, it's changed people's lives on every single level you can think of. And when this lady said to me, I'd rather go and get my toes cut off than to try these patches, that's the darkness versus the light that we're dealing with right now. And that's what it is. It's light versus dark. And that's what we're dealing with. And that's what we're going to come up against. So we're not going to be able to help everybody. And I've had to come to terms with it, because everybody that knows me, I've been a giver, I've been a helper my whole life. I just want to help everybody. And I've come to realize that we actually cannot. It's a two-way street. and people are going to want it's got to come from them. It's got to come from them. You know, it's like
They have to meet you halfway. They
halfway.
have to be willing.
And yeah, it affected me so badly yesterday when I got back. Lucinda said to me, "Have you got the patches? How did that go?" And I said to her, "I actually don't know I don't know how to tell you what I'm going to tell you now." We drove to Schlanger, which was about half an hour drive. I was so rattled, guys, that I went and bashed my car yesterday. I reversed into a tree trying to get into a parking. Guys, you have no idea. My head was spinning. I reversed into a tree. That's how badly that affected me. So yeah, it's quite a shocking thing. So guys, all we can do is we can just share with people the beauty of what this can do to people's lives. So sure, I'm getting a bit a bit choked up. It affected me, guys.
Yeah,
It affected me
wasn't
yesterday.
nice.
It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. But anyway, so after that we met with Jay and spent beautiful time with them. And we just want to share this with the world, this exciting journey that we are on. And see that on a lighter note. Um,
You do the first announcement.
what announcement say? Oh, yes. Oh, okay, guys. So we're going to be back in Joburg next week. And then after that, we're driving up to Mafeking, Lichtenberg, and Freiburg. So our tour hasn't stopped. Northwest. So this is just the coastal tour that we've done. So we're still going to be doing a lot more presentations. So that's on the cards. So we're just loving this every single minute of it. And we're loving meeting everybody. So before we do that, I see Charles is on, and Charles we met for the first time in person, and man of passion. Let me tell you something, Charles. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and I'm going to um, add spotlight. Charles, there we go.
Charles.
I'd like you to share with
Hello.
me what did you experience um, when we came down to Cape Town?
What I'd experienced, two amazing people, Lucinda and Chris. They really blew my mind when they came to Cape Town and what they had to share and the live presentations. We love the live presentations because there's so much interaction. You know, you can look at a screen. It's like if you, it's, let me paint a picture. If you sit in front of a fire, you feel the warmth. But if you sit and watch the fire on a screen, there's no warmth. You just see the fire there. And this is what's happening. We have our presentations on Zoom, but having live presentations, there's such a wealth of warmth and camaraderie and people sharing and talking. That is what I enjoy. And since then, we've been carrying on our LifeWave presentations here in Cape Town in Table View. And it is really, really mind blowing, and we're enjoying it. In fact, tomorrow's the long weekend, and we'll be having a presentation tomorrow. So again, in Table View, on Saturday. My wife has just shouted from the kitchen, Saturday. So that's it. Great. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Lucinda. You guys are absolutely awesome.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, thank you.
Thanks for keep going there in Cape Town. You guys got this. Wonderful to see.
Thank you,
we
Charles.
want to we actually want to move to Pinelands and try and get something going there because I believe the Pinelands crowd are quite responsive, and also in Normanton. So our plan is to move around within the Western Cape, and later on to do what you guys are doing to move further afield. And my plan is to go to all these little towns. You'll see on my Facebook page, I'm always posting pictures of little towns, and that is my plan to go and do presentations. Anyway, thank you for that.
And thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you later. But Debbie, you didn't know I was going to do this. I've just put you onto the big screen. Yeah, you didn't know. I didn't warn you. I just had to. Oh, Debbie, it was so amazing meeting you. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah, finally meeting you
Finally
after
meeting you
that
after,
story.
yeah,
Yeah,
after a
yeah.
year meeting in person. Um, what was your experience after that live presentation we did in Howick?
My mind was blown, actually, with the
Wow.
energy in the room. Um, I don't have words, actually, and you have put me on a spot. I don't enjoy being behind the camera. So I need to talk from the heart. You two have got such commitment to this work that it's inspired me to actually go for it now. I've been sort of sitting on the fence a little bit, but now I'm really, oh, I want to get there. I said by the end of April, I'm going to be a manager, and I'm halfway there. So, yeah, I'll be a manager by the end of April.
Oh, well
So,
done,
Good to
Debbie.
hear
Oh,
that.
thank you.
very excited. And
Oh,
thank you for coming down at the last minute to Howick. Yeah, it was incredible. The energy
And
was
now we're coming
amazing.
back up again
And
because there's such a beautiful energy and we have to connect with you all. Thank you,
so we'll be seeing you
Debbie.
next Thursday. Yeah,
on
fabulous.
Thursday, yes.
Thank you.
Looking
Thank
forward.
you, you two. I really
Oh, pleasure,
appreciate it.
Debbie. No, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Really lots.
Bye.
Bye. Graham doesn't know. I've just put him on the stage as well. Graham, I will ask you to unmute. It was so nice meeting you, Graham.
Yeah.
It was super. Yes. It was just nice to rub shoulders with you guys and also the other people that were attending as well. It's and making a lasting effect because we'll keep in touch and we'll rub shoulders and share ideas and share testimonies. So it works. Yeah. We look forward to some more.
Oh, fantastic. Graham, it was awesome meeting you. You're doing an amazing job. You're sharing it with people and just making a difference. So I just wanted to quickly say hi to you in front of everybody. Thank you, Graham.
I'll,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and
I'll
thank you
just
for
say
always
this.
go
I'll
ahead.
just that experience of that lady that with the toes. I found also that the people that need it the most, that you really think that's top of your list, you think these people really need it. Those are the people that are disbelieve and refuse. Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
It's
Yep, like we
strange.
say, you can take,
Yeah.
you can lead the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink it. So all we can do
No,
is we can just share, and it's up to the individual. So we'll get there. We'll get there. We're making waves. And we're getting
for sure.
noticed. Thank you, Graham. Thank you. Thank you. And I see that we have Harvey on the call, and I would absolutely love it. I didn't even know Harvey was going to be on the call this evening, and I just want to check if he can hear me. And I would love to get our mentor in the USA, Mr. Javi Salis, to come and pop in and say hi and give a bit of his experience on live rodeos, live tours, roadshows that he's done many times in his 15 years of being in the industry. So hopefully Harvey can hear me. I'm busy watching on the right-hand side if he's going to unmute, put his his camera on. He's probably quickly finishing a call, but I'll watch out for that. But before we get Harvey on, I just want to share the 4 stages that, like I said, I was going to share right at the end of anything in life that we learn, anything new that we laugh that in life. So, for example, you join LifeWave and you can be a little bit overwhelmed in the beginning because it's just so much information. And never mind just LifeWave, but absolutely anything new that you're learning in life, you go through 4 stages. And the first stage that you are at, you are what we call unconsciously incompetent. So, what does that mean? Unconsciously incompetent. That is a place of bliss because you don't know that you don't know what you're doing. So that doesn't matter either way, anyway. So now you decide, okay, I'm going to start doing a deep dive. And I need to start learning some of this information. Then you move to stage 2. And this is a scary part because you become consciously incompetent. What does that mean? Now it means that you don't know what you are doing. And this is that freak out stage where you go, I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's too much information. Oh my word, how am I going to learn all this? And this is where I say to people, relax, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. I've had some people after the presentation going, I can't do a presentation like this. I don't have all the knowledge. You don't have to have the knowledge. You don't have to. That's what we are here for. Let us do the presenting for you. Let us serve you in the beginning. And you're going to learn in the process as you go along and you start to become a lot more confident. And before you know it, once you've been in for a while, people are jumping up and down saying, I want to present, I want to present. So that's just the process that we all go through. All right, then the place that you really want to get to quite quickly is stage number 3, where you become consciously competent. Now, this is really awesome because now you know that you know what you are doing, right? You haven't mastered it yet, but that is quite cool. It's like when you're driving a car. So the very, very first time when you drive a car, you got to think about what you are doing all the time. It doesn't become subconscious. Because this is going to lead me to stage number 4. Stage number 4 is ultimately where you want to get to. This is how I was able to do a 45-minute presentation, slide by slide, word by word, without having the screen in front of me. This is when you become unconsciously competent. That is where you want to get to. And how do you get to become unconsciously competent? Through repetition. That's all it is, guys, is repetition. Repetition, repetition. Because what will then happen is it's when you're driving a car, when you first start driving a car, you've got to think about putting the indicator on. You've got to think about changing gears. You've got to think about that clutch. You've got to think about changing lanes. As you're doing something more and more over and over and over, it becomes subconscious. You don't have to think about it. So you're not consciously aware of it. You just do it naturally. And that's what eventually starts to happen when you plug in to LifeWave, when you come onto Zoom calls, when you come onto the training, when you start communicating with people and you start to become part of the community. What then happens is it just happens and flows naturally, because what happened is I was in Checkers this afternoon, minding my own business, filling up water bottles, because you can fill up water bottles at those little tanks, right? Mineral water, you fill it up, the 5 litre.
We drink a lot of water.
And we drink a lot of water.
And we're not home.
And we're not home. And I was minding my own business. Guys, when we talk about frequency, when you are at a certain level, people pick up on it. I'm minding my own business, guys, minding my own business, putting water in. This woman next to me putting her water in. She goes, are you here on holiday? I looked at her and I said, no, I'm here for work and holiday. So she said, oh, really? What work do you do? So I put my arm out. I said, here we go. Stem cell reactivation patches. She goes, what? Please, what is this all about? We're filling up water, guys. This is like an hour and a half ago, all right? Minding my own business, and somebody's asking me, what do you do? I didn't even go talk to her. She came to me. This is me, lady. Chatting to her. She goes, oh, my word, please take my number. Please send me information. Just before getting onto this call, I sent her information. She goes, oh, my goodness, Chris, thank you. I'm going to go through it tonight. Can we chat tomorrow? That's what happens when you start to get actively involved. You start to resonate at a frequency and you start to attract the right people to you. That's what starts to happen.
Saying like, stem cells in the future, we need to get onto this. It's like, so even though you've had some hard blows and cold no's, there's the warmness of people that are ready to hear and receive this.
I needed that after the last 48 hours, eh?
And part of what we wanted to do tonight, are we still waiting for Harvey?
Yeah, I think he's busy.
It's just to really, from the bottom of my heart and our heart, to all of you. I think the team is touching on 4,000 people now. We wanted to say thank you. for each and every one of you, for every single little thing that you do every day when it comes to LifeWave, in your small way, in what you are capable to do, every little bit that you learn, every Zoom that you come on. This team has grown exponentially in the last year, and what we have seen and experienced on our road trip and every day when we hear testimonies is just mind-blowing. So thank you with the biggest, warmest hearts and deep gratitude for everything that all of you do. It is seen. We don't take it for granted. We value what we're building here. This is community on a next level, and this is what we're going to do for eons to come. So I think Chris can agree with me, is this is like really something that is close to our heart, and we just really wanted to reach out and say thank you with gratitude.
All I can say is I'm home.
Yeah.
This is what I was put on this planet to do, and I could not have ordered anything from my creator even better, even if I tried. And I realized that my whole life, every experience, every pain I've been through, you guys have heard my story. I've been to hell and back. I shouldn't even be here on this planet. The amount of times my life was nearly taken away while being on this planet. And I realized that my life has been spared because I've got big things to do in this world. And I truly, from my heart, believe that this is what I've been put on this planet to do. With this beautiful company, this 20-year-old company started by David Schmidt in the most amazing, beautiful integrity, and in this beautiful industry called network marketing. I don't think you could ask for anything better. And, looking at this is a marriage made in heaven, guys. It's a marriage made in heaven.
Yes,
To
yes.
have to have 136-year-old industry, guys, 136-year-old industry, network marketing, coupled with a 20-year-old company that has a product that works, that's got 180 patents protecting us. This is literally, it's a dream come true. This is a marriage made in heaven. And guys, the part that really excites me is to think that we have not even started yet. We haven't even started. I mean, LifeWave it's a 20-year-old startup company, if you think about it. The first 15 years was really just putting the foundation in place, the clinical trials, the studies, the patents, and X39, as we know, that's changing the face of this world. It's taking the stem cell industry and completely shifting it. It'll never be the same again. It was only launched 4.5 years ago, as we know. And then, as we know, COVID kicked in. So, bam, 2 years we're on the lockdown. So the company's only really now just starting. So if you think about it, we are the pioneers and we are right here in the beginning. And I'm looking forward to a long, beautiful journey with every single one of you. And also, I just want to echo what Lucinda was saying. I want to thank each and every single one of you for your effort, your passion, your time, your just absolutely everything. And it's an honor. All I can say is it's an honor to be working with the most beautiful people that I've ever met. And there's a saying that says your vibe attracts your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And we're working with the most amazing, like-hearted and like-minded people. And we're attracting people on our path. So what we do is every morning we blow our imaginary dog whistle, and people are starting to contact us. And that's what's going to start happening because people are noticing. So in finishing off, I'm just going to let Lucinda talk about something that's going to be launching next week.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can let the cat out the bag.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, let the cat out the bag.
Like
Okay.
half launch, but I just want to
Right.
touch on what you also said now
Okay.
is, and something that also happened quite frequently in conversation during the road trip that we did and the tour and meeting people. And that was like, the world is ready for this and the beautiful product X39 and what LifeWave is going to offer. But it's still early days. And I think everybody's journey as well around that is just know that it will take some time, but it's going to happen. and you're in the right place with the right product, this is it. And we say that sometimes, jokingly, but it literally is. It's here. It's here for us now. We've been waiting for this all our life. And, in 2 years from now, we're going to look back and go, and Chris and I do that often. We look back and go, a year ago, there was like 3 of us on the Zoom. Now there's 4,000 people. Like, it's amazing. It's mind blowing and it's beautiful. And then finally, in closing, a lot is happening behind the scenes, and with everything in life, we have to wait till we get to the final closure of plans and things that we're working on before we can share. And if all goes according to plan, we will have a beautiful surprise for everybody next week, early Tuesday. We've been working with corporate a bit on our own stuff and that kind of thing, and this will be something unique for our team that we just want to present. So stay glued to the screen. As soon as we have the dots crossed, or the I's dotted and the T's crossed. See, I'm so excited, I can't get it out. Anyway, I have to hold back. I can't say anything yet. Just know that this is going to be exciting. This is going to be the first for South Africa. And we really, really want to make it happen. So, I'm not going to say another word.
All I'm going to say is that
Exciting.
an incentive from corporate for our team only. Can I say that?
Well, you did.
I did. Okay. Right. So wait.
Zip it. Don't say anything to anybody.
We'll let everybody know.
Super excited.
So guys, from our side, it was absolutely awesome being on the call. And all I want to say is enjoy the Easter holidays coming up.
Have a good break.
Have a good break. We're going to be having like a little mini bit of downtime for the next 3 days. Like I say, we've been running at Mark 2 for the last 8 weeks. And I just want to charge up the batteries a little bit. So we're just going to be taking like basically 3 days off. We're just going to be chilling. We'll be on our phones. We're just not going to be seeing human beings. No human interaction, but obviously on our phones. So guys, look after yourselves.
Thank you, everybody.
Fantastic, beautiful weekend.
Enjoy, relax.
Love you all. Sending you love to wherever you are on the side of the world. And looking forward to seeing you all. And see you guys in the Zoom calls next week. Have a fantastic, blessed weekend. Bye, everybody. Take care. Love you all. Bye, guys. Bye.
Well, we literally